Welcome back to the channel, guys, and welcome to all my new followers. In this week's video we have another street photography video because I really caught that bug, and we're going to talk a little bit about the Nikon F100 and Kodak Vision3 500T, which I've shot for the first time, and so I'll give you my impressions. But little spoiler alert, I really love that film. So yeah, let's talk about the Nikon F100 first. Why did I choose to take that camera out? Of course, as you all know, at least for the people that have been following me a little bit longer, I'm working on a street photography project in Deep Ellum, Texas. And yeah, I felt like I wanted to have a little bit more variety in terms of the type photos that I have. So I wanted to do some nighttime photography there, and yeah, take some night photos. And of course I've seen really great results with Kodak Vision3 500T at night. It's a really great photo. I wanted to incorporate some neon, but I still wanted the photos to be rooted within the project or within the narrative of the photos that I'm working on at Deep Ellum. So why the Nikon F100? The Nikon F100 supports VR, vibration reduction, or VC, vibration compensation. Anyway, it does image stabilization. So I took the Nikon F100 out and shot in program mode, and I can already see a couple of people getting red in the head because, oh my gosh, he's shooting in program. Why are you not shooting in manual? Program mode allows you to completely forget about the camera. The camera the camera gets completely out of the way, and I can just think about the photos. And in addition to that, with 500, I rated the film at 500. So in addition to that, you're going to mostly shoot at 1.8. So let's talk a little bit about the Tamron 45 1.8, which does have a VC or vibration compensation. In my opinion, a low light lens, or a lens that's specifically made for low light photography, that type lens is only really relevant if it is sharp wide open, and the Tamron is really sharp wide open. So, and shooting in program mode, you're mostly going to be at 1.8 anyway under those light conditions. So why not shoot in program mode? The Tamron 45 1.8 is a lens that seems to be so underrated. You really need to try that lens. I highly recommend it if you're shooting something like a Nikon F100 or a Nikon F5 or a Nikon F6. Those three cameras, film bodies, support vibration compensation or image stabilization, and it just works so beautifully. It's a good implementation. You do need to know how to shoot it. You need to give it a minute to settle and then take the photo. But it allowed me to shoot as low as 1/6 of a second. That's very low. And having the lens that's sharp wide open makes that lens relevant in low light conditions. If you're shooting at 1.8 or 1.4 or 1.2 and that lens is soft, unless you like that effect, to me that lens isn't so relevant anymore. But I had a lot of fun shooting the Nikon F100 and the Tammy 45 1.8 at night at Deep Ellum, and I think the photos came out really, great. I mean, not all photos are going to be great, but there's definitely a couple of keepers in there, and we'll discuss that after the video.
That place looks pretty fun. So my friends now.
Sorry, my bad. Thanks, man.
Absolutely not. You support Hitler? God.
What's going on, big dog?
How you doing?
Good. How about you?
Oh, hanging in there.
All right. You too. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I certainly had a lot of fun shooting at night. I'm gonna definitely do that more. That's just a lot of fun. As you can see, the Nikon F100 in combination with the Tamron 45 performed really well. As a matter of fact, it performed so well that I'm really considering really investing in the Nikon F100 system as my main body for street photography, because that 45 millimeter focal length is just so perfect. I might like it even better than the 50. It's just a tiny bit wider. It allows you to definitely capture enough of the context, as you saw in the photos, of the place where you're in. And that's definitely what I want to achieve. I want people to know, okay, this is deep elem, but there has to be the human element in it. And for me, that's really what I'm going after. I'm not necessarily shooting to have some sort of interaction between different people. I just want to have a human element within the context of deep elem, the buildings, the light, the neon, the atmosphere, the feel. I want people to, 20, 30, 40 years from now, 50 years from now, see that, hey, that's the place I went, or that's the place I went. I have good memories there. Eventually it'll have some nostalgic value, but I also want to have some sort of interest in the people that I shoot. And you don't always achieve that, but I think in one or two shots, I definitely have something interesting. One shot that I really do like is the shot at a place called Cheapsteak, and with the lady coming out. A little note on that. Of course, when you're shooting with a very slow shutter speed, you're going to get some movement, although the vibration compensation, you can see that in this photo, did its job perfectly. But maybe the next time what I'm going to try is to add maybe just a little hint of flash to kind of freeze the action a little bit of the person that's walking out. And so definitely in this photo, you can see that that person is a little blurry. This is not to the extent where I would say like, okay, it's a complete failure. But it would be nice if I could have frozen that action a little bit. Wow, that Nikon F100. Every time I pick that camera up, I just think like, why don't I just shoot with this? The Nikon F5 was created for photojournalists, which street photography and photojournalism has a massive overlap. You can shoot street photography in a journalistic style, and you can shoot journalism in a street photography style. It's a massive overlap. I'm a fresh face when it comes to street photography, so I'm still kind of trying, I'm finding my way as to what exactly is my style. And I'm not talking about an aesthetic, because an aesthetic is, to me, a secondary to the story that you're telling. Of course, it's not unimportant, but it's definitely secondary. But anyway, in this photo, you can see that maybe I'm going to add a little bit of a hint of a flash. Then we have the lady that, let me look up that photo, that opens the door where I had to wait a little bit. Excuse me, because I don't know which establishment that is. That is, oops, Davey. It's an oops moment. I should know that, because that's where I shoot. But the lady opening the door, that human element in there makes it interesting. This is also a building or an establishment where people go out. And again, sometime down the line, that's going to be interesting. Another example where I should have used flash is, of course, the gentleman in red. And I should have frozen that action a little bit, but that's okay. We live and we learn. I really love the photo of the guy with the cowboys what do you call that? A jersey. The colors are awesome there. And then, the tattoo photo I really like as well. If I were to pick one, it's definitely the lady coming out of the door at Cheap Steak. That's definitely a favorite one. But also the couple at Punk, where I waited a little bit. Thankfully, there's no movement there from them. Everything is sharp. And it's just a photo that speaks, that's typically Deep Ellum. The car in the back, some people might say like, oh my gosh, there's a car in the back. What does that add? But again, somewhere down the line, that's going to be nostalgic. And plus, it's also Deep Ellum. At Deep Ellum, you're not going to see shots without a car. That's just significant to the context or the narrative that I want to tell. The colors, though. I completely love Kodak Vision3 500T. Developed it at home in the Arista kit. If you've shot that film before and you think like, oh my gosh, the colors are a little off. I like the colors and I love the way they came out. Please let me know in the comments. I really love that film. It's a film I'm going to shoot more. I also enjoyed shooting at night. And you see the activity. And I also don't want to add music in, my street videos. I think it's much better, much more immersive to actually hear what's going on out on the streets. I hope you guys agree with me. Again, if you disagree or you think I should do something else, I'd love to learn from you. Put it down in the comments. I had a lot of fun. Really love the Nikon F100 in combination with the Tamron 45 1.8. I cannot rave enough about that combination. Every time I pick that camera up with the Tammy 45, I feel like, this is just wonderful. It just gets the job done. It delivers the photos that I'm after each and every time. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Love ya. Bye-bye.